Not one family dinner goes by where my father does not retell stories of his childhood. Each time I hear him recount the struggles my paternal grandfather faced to support his family and educate his children, I am inspired by his determination. I wish I had pictures for me to better understand these tales, but I am left to imagine what was. I clearly remember wearing tattered shirts, not having proper shoes, and struggling to find money for textbooks, my father said. Suddenly, I felt bad for having plans to buy a new pair of heels the next day. I tried to understand what life would be like if I were my grandfather. His salary was insufficient to provide adequate food for his family, and 2 sons even died of malnourishment. Despite many impediments, he lived to fulfill one goal: educate his children. My grandmother, like all the other parents, insisted that he send their sons to work in hopes of at least being able to live comfortably at the moment. Yet even in a time and place where few discerned the value of schooling, he was uncompromising. With very little money, he educated his 5 sons in the hopes of providing them with the tools for a bright future. He knew he didn't have the money to send them to the most privileged of schools, but knew that even the most basic schools could allow them to excel and surpass those with additional resources. My point is that it's important for many of these working class families to understand that while working may produce short-term relief from economic stress, education has the potential to release them from the futile cycle of poverty. Child labor is not the answer. Any form of education, regardless of the level of privilege, can help a child. I remembered that when I visited an underprivileged town in India, I found that many students were facing similar struggles. This was something I didn't expect to still happen today. One student I spoke to told me that he would have to drop out of high school to work in the family provision shop, as his family needed money for his sister's wedding. In one class that I'm enrolled in this semester, we're working with refugee students, and this has made me more aware of the different educational resources that exist worldwide. While in this class, reflecting on the relatively privileged educational experiences that I have had has allowed me to better understand different educational contexts. My goal is to engage myself in the global arena to promote greater access to education and reduce child labor, making these populations aware of the importance of education is where we need to start. Through listening to stories like tonight's, I am in awe of my grandfather's determination and perseverance, and believe that anything is possible. I value each educational opportunity I have been provided with, as I am aware that many others are not fortunate enough to have access to such resources.